All right, so let's touch a little bit on what's your favorite thing to bash Baylor on. Let us know in the comments down below. All right, so Auburn had an open viewing window and also some media availability yesterday. And the biggest takeaway outside of a video of Hugh Freeze throwing his visor to Jackson Arnold, or about Jackson Arnold, we'll talk about that in a second. There's a lot of injuries, just specifically at wide receiver. And that's not great, because that was kind of a whole argument of like, okay, even Jackson Arnold doesn't have to be perfect. Like, he's got some wiggle room because of these guys. And the reason he wasn't good last year is because all of his receivers were hurt. So Eric Singleton did not practice yesterday. Sounds like he hit his knee on another player's knee. So take that for what it's worth. Perry Thompson had a brace on his knee. Cam Coleman was in a non-contact practice jersey, which I don't hate. I almost feel like he should always wear that in practice. And then Malcolm Simmons and Bryce Cain also banged up. Wow.
Unbelievable. I mean, I can see the neon. Yeah, I can see the neon knee thing, because, I mean, that happens. You go up for a catch.
That's just a time thing, right? It's just going to take time for that to, not hurt. Right.
I think what I've heard is that, a couple of these obviously are going to keep people out of scrimmages, but shouldn't go into any further than next week. And you want them healthier on August 29th than you worry about playing in a scrimmage. So I think a lot's precautionary, but it is concerning that it's so many so quickly. And you're like, what are we doing? I mean, how is 6 receivers? I mean, are the Auburn's cornerbacks that physical?
Yeah. Is that the narrative we want to run with? Jay Crawford's just beating them up too much.
If so, get ready.
Aiden Lee, Rayon just beating them up.
They're just so physical, and the secondary so physical. I'm not concerned yet. I am a little bit perplexed on how this could happen without being on the sidelines or being there. I don't know the genesis of it. Like, again, a lot of it could just be absolutely precautionary because you're 2 weeks away and you want everybody at 100%. So, but
I think that's going to be a heavy part of this. I'm not concerned about this. But if this changes, if it's the same in a week, then I think we have a deeper conversation about it. Like, is Jackson Arnold cursed? Did all of his receivers just drop? Is that just what happens? No, I think we're going to be okay. I think we're going to be okay there. We'll talk about like a positive thing about Jackson Arnold in a second, because you found a tweet that I thought was intriguing and some bit of content that I think is worth discussing. But a video of Jackson Arnold going through a rep, and then Hugh Freeze being visibly frustrated in him because he held onto the football too long, is kind of circulated. This, at least the Auburn corner of the internet. I've seen, CBS and some other national places pick it up. This is my biggest concern about Jackson, is holding on to the football too long. And like, why is that? Is he being cautious? Is it a lack of confidence? It doesn't matter what it is, but it's a common theme that he holds on to the ball too long. That was the issue with him at Oklahoma. And we've kind of heard that whispered coming out of camp. And now this almost seems to be like an exclamation point about it, coming out of it. So like, I don't know. Like, I think this is something that we have to like be somewhat prepared for at this point. Daryl.
Yeah, I don't think you can coach that out of somebody. I don't. I mean, you can play call around it, and I think you made a really, really interesting point on that before we hit record about how you play call or scheme that up so that you don't do that. But that habit is very, very difficult to get out of, and you can't coach somebody out of that technique if it's in their head. I mean, it may be reps but there's that internal clock. And if you hold on to the ball, what drill do you do? You're doing a drill to keep you from holding on to the ball too long, and you're holding on to the ball too long. So it's either got to be play calling, or you have to you have to do what Hugh Freeze did, and I'm glad to see it, and just go absolutely bananas and crazy and get the point across, get rid of the ball.
I love that he did that with the media out there too. Like, Jackson, you got to feel this. Like,
you do got to feel it.
You feel outside pressure? Good. Because the pressure you're about to feel in the pocket is going to be way worse if you hold on to the freaking football for too long.
There's also that adage where people leave the pocket too soon. you know, that's a bad habit, that you're trying to get quarterbacks to not have happy feet. And Peyton Thorne struggled with that early on, where, man, after his first progression, if it was covered, he was gone. And that's hard. You get in these habits.
Bo did it.
Bo did it. Yeah. You just, it's very hard to overcome those. You cannot coach. Again, you can do reps and rep. It's not mechanical. It's not arm slot, or you're dropping your elbow when you're throwing.
Yeah, no, he can make the throws. That's
that's not it. It's not a physical thing, even though it sounds like it's a physical thing. It's a mental thing when you're holding onto the football too long. So I just think the only way around it is to play call. I mean, again, you cannot, regardless of how good your offensive line is. I know you want these routes to develop, and a lot of these routes are going to go way downfield. You still have to just throw to a spot and get rid of the football earlier, and we'll see. That could be a problem. I'm waiting to see how it plays out in a game. Yeah. But if you're doing a drill like that, and he was visibly upset, Hugh Freeze,
which tells me that it's probably not the first time or second time he's done that. You don't just get upset and throw your visor down the first time somebody makes that call, even probably in that session. So, I don't know. I think that's something we got to be kind of somewhat mentally prepared for, that might be something that we see.
I want to add something to that, a little caveat. Okay. Last year, Peyton Thorne did it in a game where Auburn was blowing out either Alabama, A&M, whoever they blew out, and he completed the pass downfield. And when he got to the sidelines, Freeze was all in him. And they asked the question at the press conference, why'd you get mad? And he said he missed his first read. He held onto the ball too long, and against a good team that's going to get him hurt. We need him to protect himself. And the best way to protect himself is to get rid of the ball. So even last year with a different quarterback that completed a pass to the second level, that's what it was about.
Which then makes me ask the question of, like, if you continually have quarterbacks where this is an issue, is your offense catered to them? And we'll have that discussion if we need to at a later date.